What if the energy crisis was a choice? I mean it. What if the blackouts, the rising fuel costs, the entire struggle for power that defines our modern world wasn't an inevitability, but a decision made over a century ago? Picture this: a world with limitless, clean, wireless energy, power beamed directly to your home, your car, your devices, with no wires, no bills, no pollution. Sounds like science fiction, right? But this was the future promised by one man, a man whose name you probably know, but whose greatest work wasn't just lost to time, it was deliberately buried. Today, we're opening the forbidden files of Nikola Tesla. Our first file takes us to Long Island, New York in 1901. If you were there, you'd see something astonishing rising from the ground. A colossal 187-foot-tall tower with a huge copper dome on top. This was the Wardenclyffe Tower. The official story, the one you read in most textbooks, is that it was Tesla's ambitious attempt to create a global wireless communication system. And that's true. But it's only a tiny piece of the puzzle. The tower's true purpose was something far grander, something that would have completely upended society as we know it. Tesla had discovered that the Earth itself was a massive electrical conductor. He believed he could use Wardenclyffe to tap into that natural energy, to literally make the ground beneath our feet a source of unlimited power. His plan wasn't just to send messages through the air, it was to send energy. For everyone, for free. Imagine that. A world where energy is a human right, as free as the air we breathe. It was a utopian dream, but that dream had a very powerful enemy: money. The project's primary investor was the legendary industrialist J.P. Morgan. When he finally understood the full scope of Tesla's vision, that this wasn't just about competing with the telegraph, but about giving power away, he famously and chillingly asked one simple question: where do we put the meter? You can't charge for something that's everywhere, for everyone. Morgan pulled his funding. The tower, Tesla's dream of a powered planet, was left to crumble, eventually torn down for scrap. The dream of free energy was dead. Or was it just hidden? That brings us to our second mystery, a file that's even more controversial. It's a technology often sensationalized as the death ray, but Tesla called it Teleforce. Now, I know what you're thinking. A death ray sounds terrifying, but Tesla's vision for it was the exact opposite of aggression. He envisioned Teleforce as the ultimate defensive shield. It was a particle beam weapon capable of incinerating an entire fleet of enemy aircraft from 250 miles away. His goal wasn't to create a superweapon for one nation to dominate others. His goal was to create a technology that would make war itself impossible. Think about it. If every country could erect an impenetrable shield around its borders, invasion would become obsolete. The very concept of modern warfare would cease to exist. It was a vision of enforced peace through technology, a peace plan so radical, so powerful, that governments may have feared it into obscurity. A world without war is also a world where the multi-trillion-dollar war machine becomes worthless. Was the promise of world peace simply not profitable enough? This leads us to our final and perhaps most disturbing conspiracy: the missing files. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone and in debt in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. What happened next is a matter of historical record, but the motive is still fiercely debated. Hours after his body was discovered, agents from the FBI's Office of Alien Property arrived. They sealed his room, opened his safe, and seized everything. We're talking about decades of research, trunks filled with schematics, notebooks, and models for inventions the world had never seen. The official explanation? It was wartime. Tesla was a Serbian American, and the government claimed they were securing his potentially game-changing technology to prevent it from falling into the hands of the Axis powers. A routine wartime precaution. But was it? Or was this the final act in a lifelong campaign to suppress knowledge that was deemed too revolutionary, too disruptive, too dangerous for the world? What was really in those files? Did they contain the complete plans for free energy? The secrets to the Teleforce peace shield? Technologies we can't even begin to imagine. To this day, many of those files remain classified. The ones that have been released are often heavily redacted or dismissed as the ramblings of an old man. But it leaves us with a haunting question. Was Nikola Tesla simply a brilliant inventor who was ahead of his time, or was he a man who held the keys to a better future, a future that was stolen from us? We may never know for sure, but the search for answers is what drives us. If you want to investigate more buried history and uncover the secrets they don't want you to know, make sure you subscribe. And I really want to know what you think. What really happened to Tesla's lost inventions? Was it a conspiracy or just a series of unfortunate events? Let me know your theories in the comments below.